Creepshow is an art commentary YouTuber with over 500,000 subscribers who's famous for their storytime videos, discussions of more serious topics like racism, and their many different commentary videos discussing different dramas with art speed paint background footage, which has very quickly been adopted as a common type of content creation style for a lot of people following in the footsteps of Creepshow art. However, Creepshow art may not be the representative of art commentary that you may think she is, as it may seem, given the information that's come out in the past few days, that Creepshow art isn't the perfect person who promotes body positivity like she's framed herself as she may seem. Creepshow art seems to have this underlying belly, which hides a lot of dark history and a lot of very disgusting behaviour, which I'd love to keep you updated on, and as such, today I'm going to go through everything that's come out about Creepshow art, from the Lolcow posts to her excuses on YouTube, and a whole bunch more. So, stick around. However, if you haven't seen everything that's already been shared, I'd recommend watching Omnia's video. It's a very condensed, well-made, informative little compilation sort of thingy, where she goes through, shows a lot of screenshots, reads them out, highlights the points being made behind it, and she takes a non-biased look at the whole thing, and I think it's a pretty decent video overall. So if that sounds your style, go check it out, and Omnia, if you're watching this, you better pay me $5 for that. But before I begin, if you're new to the channel, or haven't already for some reason, in which case I am personally offended, please do leave a like and subscribe for more videos just like this one. I make videos every single day on various different topics, and a lot of these videos have important subject matter where I discuss a lot of dangerous situations. Like recently I exposed Konamadachi for their predatory behavior. I got them to actually admit to everything, which I think was an informative watch, and I make a whole bunch more videos basically like that one, where I go in depth on situations and give you the kind of view that no other content creator on this platform simply does. And as such, if that sounds like your style of content, I post every single day at 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST with these highly edited, well researched, informative videos. So please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. I genuinely appreciate any support you could give to the channel as we take our final climb towards 30,000 subscribers. As of recording this video, we're about to tick over to 27.5k, meaning we'd only be 2.5k away, and there are genuinely days where I just sit down in my chair, think about that number, and I'm in awe at the fact that this time last year, I had like 4,000. Genuinely, it means so much to me, the support you've given me. And I'm sorry to ramble on just a little bit more, but if you haven't seen, I have other social media linked down below where I'll give more input on these situations as they expand, before I can get it to you in a video in a condensed format. So if you want to check out the Discord, my Twitter, and my other social media, all down below, please do feel free, it would genuinely be appreciated. Final thing to note, and I know I'm basically selling my integrity at this point, please do check out my Patreon, Ko-fi, and join button all down below if you want to support me financially. Any donations at all will be appreciated, and they help me make this content better and produce it to you every single day for basically free. Alright, sellout segment over. Let's get into it. But one more final thing I want to touch on just before I go over all of the evidence against Creepshow art. This whole situation is still allegations, and Creepshow art has made a response where they say this isn't true, and I'm willing to give them the defense of innocent until proven guilty, though I will genuinely admit from the bottom of my heart it is very hard for me to trust Shannon. The people coming out of this information are trustworthy sources, and as well, they've clearly done a lot of research into this. I doubt that they would have done this without looking into it, and also, given that apparently the cookies line up and a whole bunch more, which I'll explain later, it doesn't really make sense, any of Shannon's defense, that somehow someone hacked her IP through an email. But listen, I'll touch on all of that in a minute. This video is still allegations, and I don't want anyone going out and harassing Shannon whether this is proven true or not. I'm just discussing allegations here, and I'm not making any claims against Shannon. I just want to bring you the information as it comes to me. Alright, let's get into it. In the wake of the discovery of the posts that are apparently Creepshow arts on Lolcow.farm, a lot of people put their skeptic eyes on Creepshow art to see what she had to say, and Creepshow art came back with a incredible community post where she just breaks down everything with her I'm not even going to pretend for a second that this response was good in any way. So, at one point in this response, she says that her IP address was stolen through an email discussion, and from that point, it was spoofed to make a bunch of posts on Lolcow.farm anonymously that no one would know about or know that it came from Creepshow's PC, while they tried to frame Creepshow, which makes absolutely no sense. Why would they post anonymously on Creepshow's IP to frame Creepshow? But also, That's simply not how it works. You can't just steal someone's IP from the internet or from an email, especially an email that I'm pretty sure is public, and then somehow spoof your IP to be that IP and then post from that IP without there being any signs that that IP isn't the actual IP that's these posts are being sent from. And apparently this has been happening for 3 years. Shannon has apparently had the same IP for 3 years, otherwise this person has got multiple of her IPs across 3 years, which makes absolutely no sense. There's no possible or plausible way that this could possibly happen. And then Shannon follows up saying that she'll handle this all in private and may take it legal, but that doesn't help anybody. This whole drama is a public situation, and you need to give people the proof they want to see. Nobody wants this to be ended privately, and it seems like a way for Shannon to just quietly get herself out of this situation without having to deal with any more of the whole backlash. And I'm just going to mention really quickly, because you may know I have terrible experiences with John Swan in the past. This kind of sounds like the autistic 12-year-old cousin to me. just a viewpoint, but okay, but now I've got Shannon's response out of the way, let's go through how apparently it was proven that it was Shannon. So, you can see here, this post from admins on Lolcow that have posted this. This is a screenshot of Shannon saying that she no longer looks at Lolcow, which shows that in the past she had. This is before she deleted her Twitter, and as such, this is a relatively old screenshot, but it still does confirm that Shannon has been using Lolcow at some point, and through this post, they say, "We've decided to compile Shannon's post history after she escalated her behavior by sharing her sister's social media in order to deflect from criticism towards herself. Beyond that, she has anonymously been promoting her videos and Patreon/YouTube membership to farmers and making posts about herself to either white knight or insult herself." And they furthermore mentioned that Lolcow.farm has always had a policy of revealing post histories of users who go to great lengths to use Lolcow.farm to propel their online presence, leading to one very in-depth and hugely informative thread of posts that they link, where there's like 300 of them, and they highlight from 2018 to 2021 all of the things that Shannon has been saying on this forum. But you'll probably be questioning how they know it's Shannon. You'll probably be like, well, how could they prove it was Shannon? Well, given that Shannon claims that someone else had her IP and had been making these posts, it should be very obvious how Lolcow.farms caught her. So, there are things called cookies on your PC. Now, these cookies are always personalized and individualized, meaning that no one else will have the same cookies as you. However, apparently according to this anonymous poster, these cookies did line up. Also, you can see this post from Lolcow.farms. An anonymous admin says, Shannon's IP accurately reflects her different locations and the device models, phone, laptop, etc. she has been known to use. We also have additional data that we don't want to divulge, but you're welcome to look at some of our past outings to see how we proceed. And they then follow up by talking about her recent response, where she tried to excuse all of this as someone else on her IP. This says, her explanation only proves that she can't deny our legitimacy. The implication that nearly 300 posts over the span of 2.5 years all came from one single spoofed IP is ridiculous. Shannon hasn't pointed out which singular IP she's confirming as her post history because she's too fucking stupid to realize that she's just implicitly confirmed her entire post history. At the same time, she expects us to believe that one IP was spoofed to frame her. Is she going to claim all the other IPs in the post history is spoofed now too? She knows she's fucked up, otherwise her defense wouldn't be, it was my device information and IP, but I was framed. And this raises some fair points, to be completely honest. It seems kinda outlandish of Shannon to somehow claim that only one IP was spoofed, and yet they've somehow made all of these posts, or somehow all of her different IPs across 3 years have somehow been spoofed and posted from, matching up with her devices, models, everything. And while we can't confirm their claim as 100% true, as obviously they haven't showed specific evidence to show the IPs linking up, again this is coming from the reputable source of the people behind Lolcow forums, and as far as I'm aware, every one of their other outings has apparently been correct. Maybe I'm wrong, but from what I've seen, they seem to all add up. But let's touch on that one thing that they mentioned in particular, where they mentioned that Shannon had doxed her sister to try and get criticism off of her back. Now, here's a post on screen where Shannon is writing anonymously, claiming, in reference to herself, that her sister had blocked her, but speaking in third person, like, oh, her sister had blocked Shannon, and then the person Shannon claims to not be her says that they somehow found Shannon's sister's Twitter from a story time and as such, decided to share it here. Now, if you ask me, this is absolutely outlandish. It seems implausible to me that Shannon would somehow have her sister's private Twitter, which I checked was privatized, somehow linked to one of her videos, and nobody had discovered it. This account had like 200 followers. There's no way that Shannon had this in a video. It would have way more followers than that, or it wouldn't have been discovered at all. This is obvious that Shannon had likely just leaked her sister's account to try and get the backlash off of her. And here's where we get to all of the slimy behavior from Shannon. Now, you'll see from now on that all the posts from Shannon will have "this is not okay" under them. That's in reference to her millions of titles and that sort of thing. And basically, it's just so you know which ones are Shannon's. So yeah, let's delve into Shannon's many different posts where she exposes herself as a relatively terrible person. Reading through Shannon's whole post history, I discovered a few posts in particular that highlight Shannon's terrible backstabby behavior. These few highlight Shannon mocking and berating D'Angelo Wallace, Ready to Glare, and Edwin, using demeaning words and insults to berate them, which is quite ironic for a body positivity YouTuber, considering she uses words like fat, etc, etc. Furthermore, there's also tons of posts about Hopeless Peaches and Toby Majestic, with Peaches being the main focus of most of the posts on this account. One of these posts mentions that Peaches sucks Creepshow's dick, and that every video she makes, Creepshow will post the same video, but with more swearing the day earlier. Now, this is incredibly backstabby behavior, and given the fact that this is stated in present tense when Shannon would make a same video with more swearing the day before Peaches would make the same video, it implies that this was before Peaches and Shannon had their falling out, and it gives me the kind of feeling that they're just backstabbing, that Shannon was talking shit about Peaches behind her back way before they fell out. Now, maybe my timing's a bit off, I'm not 100% sure, as all I can see is 1 year ago, but this does seem quite questionable. You'll also notice in the post about Toby Majestic that Shannon described her as Shannon 2.0, which highlights how egotistical Shannon may be. You'll also notice in these posts that Shannon uses transphobic slurs like the T slur and fake boy, a slur used to demean trans men. Obviously, this demeans me in particular, if you know anything about me, and also berates the person she's discussing. It also highlights how liberal her usage of slurs is, but that's also relatively obvious given this post where Shannon uses the R slur 3 times in about 1 sentence. You'll also notice Shannon insulting Saikuno at points for his skin, which is quite funny again, because she's a body positivity YouTuber. I genuinely swear, is anything about Shannon real at this point? I'm gonna go more in depth on her story times later, but from everything I've seen, she seems like a completely fake persona online. Like, there seems like no authenticity to the poster she is on her channel. And then it seems to be swings and roundabouts with Shannon, again, another body positivity post, where she calls someone with a corpse husband tattoo unfuckable, while simultaneously lurking under a post trying to dox corpse husband. Shannon's also seen in these posts gloating about how others are scared of her, and rambling about how she must make 20 grand a month, which is just her boosting her ego, and flexing how much money she makes to see people's wow, shocked reactions. And there's also just a bunch of posts about Shannon insulting herself, which seems like she's trying to start an argument about herself and spread false truths about herself. It seems really demeaning, but I think the way she's doing it is so that it doesn't look like she's the one making these posts, because she thought that her identity would never actually be exposed from this anonymous posting account. But I'm not really going to focus on any of that, because it's just petty and pointless, and I'm pretty sure every other video on this platform has gone through it, so yeah. More concerning though, there's posts from Shannon guiding people to stalk the new accounts of someone known to be schizophrenic that Shannon made a video on in the past. Furthermore, considering that Amy is used as a vehicle in most of Shannon's story times, to me, she seems like a manufactured character, and that's what I mean when I say, is anything about Shannon real? At this point, I'm not even sure if her story times are real, and that's quite concerning. I'm not here to at all invalidate any of Shannon's experiences. I believe that would be completely scummy of me and wrong, but I do genuinely have to put skepticism on the authenticity of this character she's created, when this same character is apparently the character responsible for the hacking for 3 years of her account. It simply doesn't add up with any of the chronological timeline, and if this isn't true, it's hard to tell what else is true about this whole Amy character. What's also weird is that after Shannon received criticism from a YouTuber, her channel apparently got hacked, and these hackers just changed her icon and banner to be glitched, while also removing her community posts. Which is like, what? Why would any hacker just not touch any of the videos, and instead just fuck around with the community post icon and banner to do this cryptic shit? It makes no sense. And Shannon apparently lost access to make community posts conveniently until today, when her channel profile picture came back like nothing, and immediately she was just able to make a post responding to everything that happened. Like, what? And as far as I can tell, this isn't even the first time Shannon's apparently been hacked. It simply doesn't add up. If you can't tell, all of this behaviour in itself is incredibly concerning, confusing and troubling, with Shannon's excuses being incredibly baseless and lacking any evidence. Again, 12-year-old cousin vibes. But in conclusion, don't go out to harass Shannon. These are all allegations, and until Shannon gets to either admit or she's proven guilty without a doubt, this situation is left at the accusation phase. I don't want to see any comments saying, wow, I'm so shocked that Shannon would do this, because it's not proven that it's Shannon. I'm bringing you the information to keep you up to date on a situation, not to make conclusions based on the situation. But from what we can gather, if everything shared thus far is true, Shannon has been lying this whole time about a lot of her story times. Shannon has made up a false story to defend herself. Shannon has hacked her YouTube channel to get away from responding to criticism. Shannon has made posts disrespecting her friends for the past few years in private without them knowing, and Shannon's been using very disgusting and disgraceful and colourful language to demean a lot of people based on their status as a minority. Anyway, I know Shannon will probably block my email after this video, which is fine. In itself, I don't really mind. From what I can gather, I personally believe that Shannon is lying, but that's just my point of view. And until we get the conclusive evidence, that's where I'm leaving it. Thank you for watching, and if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I make videos every single day on various different topics, and if those topics do interest you, like this one, I'm sure you'll enjoy some of my other videos. I post at 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST, so subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a like, leave a comment, and feel free to check out my other videos, my other social media down below, and with that being said, I'll see you next time. Peace.
Says she wanna rock with it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with it like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with it like me.